Everyone, thank you so much for having me today. I'm from Sisters Uncut. I'm also here as someone who's been organising with the Kill the Bill movement, and I have to say it's been really painful for me personally to watch Osime's case as someone who has two close family members who are autistic, who I am a carer for. And when Joan asked me to do this speech, I obviously said, absolutely, I really want to do that. And I didn't know at that point that a very close family member that I'm a carer for would also be targeted as an autistic working class young person by the police in a disgusting way that Osime has. And it's only a fraction of what Osime and his family have experienced, but it hurts and it destroys people, it really does. I just wanted to share a little bit about that, just because it really, Osime's case is already touching me, but a young person in my family who is autistic and whom I care for was in an accident a few months ago. And even though the police promised me when he was in hospital that it was not his fault and that he was not in trouble, and even though he told the police he was diagnosed autistic, something that he feels really ashamed about, and even though he was diagnosed as a child, he's not able to admit to a lot of the time, even to me, even to his own family, and told the police that he was autistic, and found out this week that he's being pursued for a prosecution, even though he was promised that none of this was his fault. I can only say that it's really obvious to me because the police deliberately left out his diagnosis in this prosecution papers, deliberately did that they see him as an easy target. They see him as a disabled working class young person as an easy target for a prosecution. I know that as someone who's worked in domestic violence for years, that the police are institutionally incentivized to pursue what they see as easy cases, because it means that they get promoted more quickly. And when I say institutionally incentivized, I mean they're institutionally incentivized to be racist, because they see young black and brown people, young working class people and disabled people as easy targets for prosecution. It's easier and more likely that those people will be prosecuted. They are incentivized to pursue those cases over other cases. So this week, the experience that my family has had is only a fraction of what Osime and his family have had. But make no mistake, the police are bullies and parasites. To send Osime to prison because they think he is an easy target and now pursue his deportation when he's a vulnerable, young, autistic black man, I can only describe the police, immigration enforcement, the Home Office and Priti Patel as lower than vermin. They prey on the young, the disabled, and black and brown and white working class people, and we will not stand for it anymore. I really want to also draw people's attention to the police crime and sentencing bill and the Kill the Bill movement, because I think it's incredibly important that the campaign to stop Osime's deportation is linked with the Kill the Bill movement. We've already heard now how the police abuse the enormous powers they already have, and yet Priti Patel thinks that the police should have yet more power than they already have. This bill proposes more stop and search powers, which is likely to hit young, racialized communities, disabled people, and migrants particularly hard. This bill will also seek to make protests like this one basically illegal. It also seeks to criminalise Gypsy Roma travellers for simply existing. We've seen recently that the national mood after the police crackdown of Sarah Everard's vigil is one in which people are reflecting on what the point of the police is. We've seen time and time again the police unleash violence against women, against black and brown communities, against working class communities, against Gypsy Roma traveller communities, and migrants and disabled people. And time again, we've been mobilising to ask, what is the point of the police? Thousands of people across the country have seen the dangers the police are already posing to our communities and are standing up to say no, we will not accept any part of this bill. It is absolutely critical that alongside those big mobilisations in cities where thousands of people have been turning out, I think it's absolutely critical that those mobilisations be linked to campaigns like Osime's. If we're going to be able to stand up to the police and protect the most vulnerable in our communities, we have to be able to stand up against every proposed new power and refuse to stop until we have justice for every abuse of power the police have already perpetrated, just like they have in the case of Osime's. I think the Kill the Bill organisers will stand in solidarity, in active solidarity, with Osime Brown and his family until justice has been served and the deportation has been stopped. Thank you.
Showing how many people watched it.